So, what do you make of Wentworth?
Well, I haven't seen much of it yet.
Well, all I can say is I'm glad to see another male face around. I tend to feel surrounded. Come, make yourself at home.
Thank you.
The only advice I can give you is that just when you think everything's nice and peaceful, you know something's about to happen.
Yes, I have a fair idea what goes on in prisons.
Yeah, I didn't mean... What made you get into this line of work, Jim?
Well, I joined the army when I was 17. I'm not much qualified to do anything else.
Was there much of a switch from the army to Pentridge?
Well, no, not really. I'm used to discipline.
Pentridge is a bit different to Wentworth, I would imagine. It's a lot more freedom here, for one thing.
So I've heard.
Why did you want to transfer here? Was it a promotion?
A promotion? To a woman's prison?
Lizzie, when are you going to learn to knock?
Oh, there you go, Doc. I had my hands full. Mrs. Jackson thought you could do with a cuppa.
Thank you.
Elizabeth Josephine Birdsworth. Pleased to meet you, Mr. Fletcher. Oh, it's good to see a strong young fella as deputy governor, especially with that old bed.
Lizzie.
I'll just fix your tea. Black with a bit of sugar.
Yes, just...
You can always tell a man by the way he takes his tea. Strong with a bit of sweetness. The doc here, he takes white with 2. Oh, he's a real sweetheart. I've got to apologise, Mr. Fletcher, for the way some of them women acted out at breakfast. Some of them wouldn't know how to behave like a lady.
Out, Lizzie.
But...
Out! You get used to Lizzie. She's almost part of the furniture here.
Well, she seems a harmless enough old lady.
Yes.
Meg, I thought you were showing Mr. Fletcher around.
I left him with Greg for a few minutes.
What do you think?
I don't know, really.
You don't sound so keen.
I'm not overly taken with him. He probably needs time to settle in, that's all.
He shouldn't be here, and you know it.
Would it have been any better if a woman had replaced you, Vera? I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Look, let's just give him a chance.
I know these women better than anyone. They'll be out to con him. You wait and see. I've got more experience to do this job than anyone. They had no right to replace me.
You're probably right, Vera.
But he won't have it so easy. I know his type. Thinks he knows it all. Likes to feel important.
You're the officer of the day, aren't you, Miss Bennett? There's a woman at reception waiting to be released.
I'm going there right now, thank you.
I'll see the work areas now, thank you, Miss Jackson.
If you like.
Sign your name, will you? Your name! Will you sign it?
Your name?
Yes.
Funny how she understands when she wants to. Come on, I'll show you to the gate. Well, hurry up. Come with me.
Yes. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Good luck.
Well, I reckon he's a real gent.
Oh, you know.
Oh, I know a real man when I see him, and he really is that kind.
You figured that all out by yourself, did you, Lizzie?
Well, I don't care if he's got 4 heads, just so long as he makes Vera feel rotten.
Well, what do you think about Mr. Fletcher, B?
Oh, give us a go, Doreen. I've only seen him once. I shall reserve my opinion until we get to know each other a little better.
Well, I really know him, and I can wind him round my little finger.
Laundry? This is B. Smith, Monica Ferguson, Doreen Anderson, Lizzie Birdsworth.
Oh, we've met already.
Janice?
Yes, it's all right, Mrs. Jackson. I'm sure I'll get to know them all in time.
That depends on how well you want to get to know us.
Ferguson, you've been behaving yourself for the last few days. Will you keep it that way? You're up before the parole board tomorrow.
Here, I'm a queen bee around here. Sort of union boss?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, Smith, isn't it?
Mrs. Smith.
So as far as I'm concerned, Mrs. Smith, the officers are in charge. And you'll certainly remember that while I'm on duty.
Oh, crikey, he sounds just like Vera.
And he better looking.
Doreen, aren't weren't you supposed to be in the garden?
Oh, yeah. Well, you see, Mrs. Jackson, I got lonely.
All right.
No, just a minute. You'll work where you're supposed to work.
Oh, but
In the garden.
it's not fair. Everyone picks on me.
Mr. Fletcher?
Oh, well, you can come up and see me anytime, big fella.
Yeah, it's easy to see while you're in here, Mrs. Jackson.
Well, up you.
He's not going to be easy to handle.
Well, I think he's real nice.
Oh, shut up, Lizzie. Just so long as he stays out of my way.
Irene Zervos, you're under arrest. Just hold on to that. Excuse me.
Who told you? How did
I'm
you
with
find
the
out?
Immigration Department. Irene Zervos is to be held in custody for up to 48 hours, pending her appearance before a stipendiary magistrate. She's an illegal immigrant.
We had no alternative but to wait for you.
If there was an interpreter assigned to the prison...
Well, there isn't, and I am not about to discuss policies with you. You'll have to explain the situation to her later.
Why has she been brought back here?
Because the Immigration Detention Center doesn't have the room available. With Irene's record, she will be detained here until her hearing.
What happens to her then?
If the magistrate finds that she's an illegal immigrant, and there seems no doubt that she is, she will be served with another custody warrant.
For how long?
7 days. Until the minister in Canberra decides whether or not she's to be sent back to Greece.
And just exactly where will she be detained, Mrs. Davidson?
Here, or Fairley, or a detention centre.
Why can't she stay with her brother, for heaven's sake?
I don't make the rules, I follow them. That will be all, Karen.
Irene?
University seems to be agreeing with Karen Travers.
They don't all end up radicals.
I did. At least my father thought so. Then he taught me that if I wanted to change the system, I should join it and try from the inside. How's Mr. Fletcher's first day going?
He's efficient.
Well, I'd better see him before I go home. Would you get him for me, please, mate?
No. Give us 2 money. Hey, Fletch, how about a light for a load? Look, you know, I must be terribly hard to keep your eyes off us lovelies, but couldn't you leave us alone for a few minutes?
I'll stay here for as long as I see fit.
Got a right one here, girls. Fletch the Lech.
Yeah, he made me work in the garden, a pig.
Well, couldn't you talk to the governor?
Oh, yeah, I reckon.
Hey, Mr. Butterfield was away for the most of the day. I had the whole nursery to myself.
I hate being by myself.
Oh, I don't mind. Gives me time to think.
It'll take you long to get back in here. You're going to have to learn to keep off the streets, kid.
Shut up, Monica. It looks like she's going to be deported. She's an illegal immigrant.
And they keep her in for that?
She broke the law.
Yeah, well, maybe she'll be better off in her own country anyhow.
How'd they catch up with you?
Irene thinks the man that blackmailed her into prostitution phoned him.
Oh, bloody lagger.
What's the matter, Mr. Fletcher? You got something against a girl earning a living off men?
How low you women want to sink is up to you, until you end up in here.
You know, I've been trying to figure you out, Fletch. And now I know. You're one of those male chauvinist pigs, aren't you? Hey, girls, of all the men we have to end up with, a male chauvinist pig. You've got a lot to learn, Fletch.
Mrs. Davidson would like to see you, Mr. Fletcher.
Hey, Mrs. Jackson, can't you tell this perp to leave us alone and give us a bit of privacy?
That's quite enough, Bea.
Yeah, we don't want him gawking at us all the time. He gives us the creep.
Yeah, go on. Can't we have a bit of time to ourselves?
I wouldn't be too hard on
Oh,
him.
put a sock in it, Lizzie.
What was that all about?
I've handled tougher characters than that.
Look, the women aren't used to being supervised 24 hours a day.
Don't tell me my job, Mrs. Jackson.
Believe me, I wouldn't dream of doing a thing like that. Look, there are times when there's no signs of trouble. The women don't have to be watched quite so closely.
That's just the time you should be watching them.
I'm only trying to make it a little easier for you and perhaps a bit more pleasant.
I know my job, Mrs. Jackson, and I'll do it. And I suggest you keep your pleasantries for your husband.
I have to agree with Mrs. Jackson. However, I am aware there are certain elements which need to be watched.